Now, Angela, you look more like Flavor Flav than Shamea does. And we know why you said that. And let's keep it real. You're mad because Shamea has embraced her beautiful natural beauty. You, on the other hand, live up to a European beauty of standards. And that's why you got that Cindy Lou Who nose. So you might want to watch yourself. Anyway. All right, Atlanta season 16, episode 3. Let's talk about it. So we open with my least favorite person on the show, Britt. Um, we're at her house again, only in the kitchen. You ever notice they're this geese really was trying to geese just ran in front of my car. Anyway, you ever notice they're only in her kitchen? They're either in a kitchen or like that one sitting room. Anyway, so her husband Mike, who we still don't know what he does for a living, or what he does, or if they're even really together. That whole situation just something ain't clean in the milk. So his sister comes over with her family. First of all, sister was dope, I thought. Beautiful girl. She was way more interesting than Brit. I was like, give her a peach. Shit. Um, they were discussing her and Mike having a baby. To me, Brit doesn't seem emotionally mature enough to have a fucking child. You know, she's cool with one of them little lap dogs, but I just don't see her as somebody that could be raising somebody. She's a mess. Um, in her confessionals, though, she continues to brag about being that bitch. I was a video vixen in high school. I was that bitch. Britt, you're in your 40s. You're in your 40s talking about your heyday when you were a teenager. That's bizarre. What's going on, honey? What's going on? And flexing that you were a video vixen is crazy to me. And what's really crazy is in her confessional, the producer asked her if she dated Rick Ross, to which she confirmed, but then didn't want to talk about it. So you don't want to talk about your industry adventures where you yourself said that you dated rappers and athletes and you knew that they were temporary. It's giving pass around. And it's giving more than video vixen. It's giving video hoe. Just saying. Whatever. Um, I'll say this. So Brit, when she goes into a separate, like I'm assuming a den or a lounge area with her with Mike's sister, and basically talks about her motivation for starting her insurance company. Her father had a $2 million policy. He left the job that he had worked at forever, and he was in between jobs, about to start the other. So Angela's dad is in between, or not Angela, I'm sorry, Britt's father is in between jobs. He ends up dying, and the other company won't pay out the insurance premium or whatever because he had passed and was in between jobs. Um, I'm badly paraphrasing. Go back and watch. But that was really heartfelt to hear her say that, and that was the motivation that got her starting an insurance company because they didn't have any money to bury her dad. They had to do a GoFundMe. And she doesn't want anyone else to experience that moving forward. Um, okay, I was with you until I really started thinking about what she was saying, and I felt like there was something in that story wasn't adding up because she's talking about if your dad had a $2 million insurance policy, and I'm thinking, well, he had money to pay into that, so how is it that there was no money to bury him? Like, where did all the other money go? Something was weird with that story. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to disrespect the dead. But Britt, once again, you don't give authentic energy. You just don't. So even that story, I'm like, I don't know. I know a little bit about insurance. I almost sold it once and I took the test. It was hard as fuck and I said, fuck it. But, um, but I don't know. But I'm going to leave that alone. Anyway, again, every week, this is the third week now. I still don't know what Britt's husband does. Maybe I missed it. If I missed it, let me know in the comments. But it's just something not genuine about her. She don't come off authentic at all to me. I need to get over. Um, okay. Anyway, so next scene, Porsha and Kelly meet up. Porsha wants to talk to Kelly about that comment she made about stealing that lady's man. This scene was very fake to me and ridiculous. Porsha ordered a Hennessy margarita, and became extremely agreeable and still threw shade at you, Kelly, when she called you her treasure troll. That was hilarious. Kelly, you definitely lied about, or not lied, but you lied. You lied about how you asked about Porsha getting with Simon to Shamea. You tried to downplay it. You're full of shit. You were very messy the way you said it, and I love that Bravo rolled it back. Girl, don't play like that. Um, that scene was whatever, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna argue and fight later on down the line. So next scene, we go to Shamea talking about her surrogacy, um, searching for the surrogacy, the health issues with her children, her two daughters. Um, I felt for Shamea in this scene. I know what it's like to be the strong friend and the one that's I'd be the most fucked up in the room. Just so I totally got that. Shamea, I totally feel for you in that, and I hope that things get better. It seems like they are now, so that's good. Um, so next we go to Angela Oakley. We're meeting her at one of her investment homes. Nice house. They showed it before and after. It looks nice. So check this out. So in the scene when she's walking in, um she's meeting Charles there. He's not there yet. He ends up showing up 20 minutes later. They carefully point that out. But before he gets there, Angela says in her confessional that this particular house means a lot to her because it's her way of showing Charles that she can do this and that she's serious. And I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't match what you said last episode. Last episode, it was I'm Angela Oakley. I'm an entrepreneur. I built my business from the ground up, doing investing in homes and different properties. And I'm like, wait a minute. But then in this, you're saying that you want to show Charles that you can do this on your own. So are you lying? So are you not? It's giving you and Charles built real estate type of empire together, and you're now wanting to hold the reins by yourself. That's what that gave me. You fibbed. You fibbed. If you listen long enough, somebody will tell you about themselves. That was badly paraphrasing. But anyway, that whole dynamic between Angela and Charles was different too, because just them talking about the origin of their marriage, and my dad's a big sports guy and gave me the whole tea about Charles Oakley, and I guess he hated the coach or the owner or whatever of the Knicks and cussed him out when he played for them, and that's why there's all this bad blood. Okay, that's fine. um I don't know. Even Charles joking about like replacing her if them not lasting 10 years or something. It was, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. There were there were cracks in the foundation. There were definitely cracks in that foundation. Um or maybe they're getting healed. I don't know. I'm just commenting on what I saw. Um so we get to Drew at the studio with her mediocre music. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of Drew's music. I don't get it. Um Anyway, Kenya, Angela, and Cynthia meet her there. They start talking about the big elephant in the room, Porsha and Dennis. Here's okay, Drew. Just the lies continue. So Drew tells the ladies, "Well, I tried reaching out to Porsha, and she just never responded to me." So Bravo is showing like the clips of her texting her. Angela addresses Shamea. It instantly it goes left probably immediately. Shamea, you were petty first. You made fun of her nose. But then Angela calling her Flavor Flav, I was like, wow, really? You're not in a position to be talking about anybody's looks either. That the coming for Shamea thing, I think is, I noticed this, and I want to go back real quick. So the scene with Porsha and Kelly, when Kelly tells lies about how she brought the question up about Porsha and Simon to Shamea, Shamea tells Kelly, and we all saw it, like, you need to address that with Porsha directly. Porsha takes it as, oh, she told you to ask me at her party? I didn't like that. Porsha, I don't know about that. Then the scene with Porsha and her mom, where she's talking about the divorce and Shamea coming over trying to make her feel better, and then Miss Diane jumps on. Well, how is that making you feel better by her coming back and telling you what those girls said about your marriage? There's a narrative here. It's like they're all coming for Shamea. Shamea is that girl this season, and everybody always comes for the queen. That's how it is. This is a giant game of chess. The whole point is to get the queen. Angela, you're not a very good rook, soldier, whatever. I haven't played chess in forever. You're not the one to come for Shamea because your reads were fucking lazy and you need some help. The Flavor Flav one was hilarious because that backfired in your face. You shouldn't be talking about nobody looking like a citizen of Whoville. Don't do it. So Drew and her sister, so it's so funny. Whenever Drew's sister enters the chat, Drew grows balls. So now that her sister's at the party and her sister's egging her on to go talk to Porsha, she finally goes over and addresses Porsha, and we're going to go into that next week. And I guess Porsha had canceled on her, had kept rescheduling with Drew about meeting up. I don't think Porsha is afraid to meet up with Drew at all. I just think she genuinely got busy. But I'm with Porsha on that. I'm not talking about this here. Like, of all the places, we're gonna hash out you doing business with my child's father here at a Mommy and Me charity event. I know this is the Housewives, but that's not what's going down. And the only reason you're doing that, Drew, is because you got your sister behind you. Anyway, this was a good third episode. I can't wait for the rest of this season. I can't wait for this stuff with Brit to unfold, because I feel like old girl is leaving out chunks of the truth. Chunks.